Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about the Indian School of Business Young Leaders Programme, ISB YLP. Why have I chosen this topic? Firstly, because it's the season of ISB YLP and 26th March is the deadline. Secondly, I myself got an admit with the Indian School of Business through the Young Leaders Program. I applied in my pre-final year of undergraduate college and then I got through. It's a deferred MBA admit program to the Indian School of Business. So if you are in college right now and if you are considering to apply with ISB in the future, you can apply while sitting in college. And that's what I'll talk about in today's video, which is eligibility, which is the ISB YLP process, which is what does the school look for, what are the timelines, and my experience as well, right? So let's get started. With respect to what ISB YLP is, so see a lot of B schools in India and abroad, they have a deferred MBA program, which is you can be a college student right now in your second last year or the last year, and you can apply with that school. But if you get that admission and you take the GMAT, write the essays, get a seat, that seat is secured for you, but you will have to have at least some amount of work before you enter the MBA program, right? So ISB YLP is one such deferred MBA program which gives you a deferred entry to the Indian School of Business. With respect to what the eligibility criterion is, firstly, you should be in your second last or last year of college. You can be in your undergraduate college, or let's say you can be in your master's as well, right? So that is one, which is pre-final or final year. And secondly, some hygiene factors like at least 60% in class 12th, and you should not have any integrity issues. All of that is there. But the major criterion is that you should be a current college student in your second last or last years. And it doesn't matter which background, which degree you come from, anybody can apply for ISB YLP. It can be a pharmacy student, a management student, an engineering student, a humanities student. Anybody and everybody can apply as long as they are in college right now and they are not in their first year, right? So that is there. With respect to what the process is, before I talk about timelines, what the process is, so ISB YLP is typically broken down into three stages, right? The first stage, which is due on 26th March this year, the first stage has typically two components. The first component is essay. So you have to submit a 300 words long essay, and the topic this time is what is your passion? What are you passionate about? It can be something within the classroom or beyond the classroom, which is extracurriculars. And what are your current efforts, or what have you done till now to pursue that passion? And also, what are your future plans for the same, right? So the first component is essay writing, which is one essay only for stage one. Now, when it comes to how you should figure out what to write, so see, ISB looks for brevity, right? So you can't write stories and expect them to give you a shortlist. You can't lie at the same time or exaggerate stuff and not expect them to do a background check if you're given an admit, right? So, and one more thing, so it's talking about passion, not your goal. So for me, management consulting is a goal, but problem solving can be a passion. For me, marketing can be my goal post ISB, but storytelling can be my passion. For me, my passion can be content creation, my passion can be fitness, my passion can be running my own ventures previously, which is entrepreneurship. So whatever that is, just make sure that it's not businessy in nature. Why am I telling this to you? Because a lot of people make this mistake that they believe that they're writing a business school essay. तो उनको लगता है it's very cool and it's very fancy to write businessy language, to talk about consulting, marketing, all of that in the first year itself. But as I told you in the start, ISB YLP has three different stages to evaluate you, and all these three stages are eliminative in nature, right? So only when you clear stage one are you given entry to apply for stage two. Only when you're given a shortlist from stage two can you go to the stage three, which is the personal interview stage, right? So in stage two, once you go there, your essay topic is what are your goals and how will ISB help you achieve that goal, right? So don't get businessy in stage one. That's an error that a lot of YLP aspirants commit, basis my experience. So, shedding more light on this, so I have been mentoring people for YLP and ISB in general for the last 4.5 years. I got my admit in 2017 through the YLP. So it's been broadly 4 or 5 years since I've been mentoring people with their essays, interviews, all of that for ISB and other business schools in a personal capacity. So, and feel free to, if you want to get in touch, feel free to go to the pinned comment and fill the Google form on the website. But coming back to where we were, which is stage one, essay one, right? So, talk about your passion, not your goal. Don't write stories, don't write quotes for the sake of writing them, right? Don't try to portray yourself to be somebody who you aren't, right? A lot of people have this confusion कि यार मैं starting में quote लिख देती हूँ, it will be fancy or it's imperative. Nothing is imperative. For me as a person, if I am evaluating you or reading your essay, I will want you to get direct with me from the first word, right? So when it comes to your passion, talk to me about your passion from line one. I should understand that this is Sarthak's passion if Sarthak is an aspirant from the first word itself, right? And don't get confused between passion and goals. A lot of people make that mistake. When it comes to finding what your passion is, you can work backwards. So you can see what sort of internships have you done, what sort of life projects have you done, what sort of clubs you have been a part of in college, right? And then you can try to see that, okay, there is a recurring theme. I am a part of the marketing club and I have done some marketing internships. So have I done these internships and joined this club just for my CV, or have I liked working in marketing sort of roles? If you've liked working in marketing sort of roles, then you should introspect a little more and see which dimension of marketing do you like. Is it branding? Is it storytelling? Is it communicating to customers? Is it coming up with an idea? What exactly is it that you like or have liked doing in a marketing profile? That can be your passion, right? Talking about myself, if I was writing this essay today, then entrepreneurship can be my goal post ISB, but my passion would be problem solving. And I could have talked about my own venture that I have had in college. I would have talked about my internships with a couple of startups that I've done and how I have liked solving problems there. I could have talked about my family business, how I helped my dad in setting up a plant or solving problems with him in a certain capacity. So everything related to problem solving I try to mention in my essay, right? Because the essay question is, what is your passion? What are your current efforts that you've undertaken to pursue that passion? And what are your future plans, right? So I recommend people to introspect a lot, find out what that passion is by just jotting down whatever you have done in college till now in the form of internships, life projects, college societies, case competitions, own ventures, and you try to find a theme in that, right? So one more thing when it comes to essay is that it's a 300 words long essay. You don't have space for redundancy or writing stories. So be very direct, optimize for your words, and try to divide it into 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph can be what your passion is and why is it your passion. The second paragraph can be what efforts have you undertaken to pursue that passion, which includes everything from internships to family business to life projects, anything related to that passion, right? And the last para talks about what are your future plans to pursue that passion, right? So if let's say problem solving is my passion, my future plan can be to join an early stage startup and get a front row seat of how problems are solved at scale. That can be a future plan, which is to join a startup. A future plan can be to open my own venture post college, right? So whatever your plans are, it can be your plans for the next year till you graduate, as well as your plans after graduation. And joining ISB can be a part of that plan, right? So that's how you write your essay. I hope this was helpful for you. And the second component of stage one is you talking about your awards, achievements, and hobbies. It's easier to do. Essay is the component which carries a lot of weightage. So in awards, achievements, etc., you essentially have to write one lines on any certificates won, any Olympiads won, any gold medals, etc. All of that. In achievements, you talk about clubs joined, volunteering, MU winning, economic society, all of that. In hobbies, you talk about stuff that you like doing in your free time. Whatever it is, just make sure that you're being honest, because people believe that I'll write stuff in my application for the sake of writing it, and they have a fake it till you make it approach. But in stage 3 of the YLP, you have a personal interview which is taken typically by alumni of the school, and they have been doing this since quite some time now. If you have exaggerated something and if they pick on that in the interviews and if they call your bluff, then you're out, right? Something that ISB does not compromise on is ethics, integrity, and authenticity, right, of the candidates and students and alums, right? So don't write stuff for the sake of writing it. Just keep that in mind, that whatever word or hobby or anything in your essay that you're writing, you can be asked questions on, right? So that's stage 1, which is one essay on your passion, and secondly, you talking about awards, achievements, activities, and hobbies. Once you submit your stage 1, which is due on 26th March 2023, on the ISB YLP portal. After that, you start getting shortlist for stage 2 in May, right? And from May till 31st August, which is the deadline for stage 2, you have to submit your GMAT or GRE score. You have to write one more essay, and you have to submit a letter of recommendation from somebody who has worked with you in a professional capacity, right? So those are the 3 major components in the second stage. Talking about them one by one, a lot of people have this doubt that what should be my ideal GMAT score in YLP. So see, the average acceptance GMAT score of ISB as a school, if you go to their website, is 710 to 720, right? So for you, irrespective of your background, academics, internships, if you want to ask me a safe score for ISB YLP, it should be 720 or a higher score, right? Which is higher than the average. When it comes to how should I prepare for GMAT or GRE, I'll tell you my story. I prepared for GMAT firstly through self-prep. Then I scored a 680. Then I took coaching for 3 months, and then I scored a 750. So I could score a decent score in GMAT through coaching. And we provide coaching as well. All of details are there in the pinned comment. So see what works for you, right? So for some people, they can just practice questions from the official guides of GMAT, do concepts from Manhattan guides, and then they're able to take the mock, score well, give the exam. Some people require a little more hand holding specifically for verbal ability, because GMAT verbal ability is difficult for 99% of the test takers. So for some people, coaching is needed, right? But you can take a call on whether to take coaching or not by just giving a cold mock, right? So cold mock means that without any preparation, you are giving a GMAT online mock, and you see what your score is, right? So that is about GMAT or GRE. So you typically, from May to August, you typically have 2.5 to 3 months to start preparing for GMAT, give the exam. And so barring GMAT or GRE, the second component is once again an essay. So stage 2 also requires an essay. It's 300 words long. The topic here is businessy in nature. It's about what are your goals in life post MBA. Has this been your goal all along, or has it changed over time? And how will ISB help you in achieving those goals, right? So this is where you talk about your professional goals in life, right? So professional goal for me can be finance or investment banking or consulting or marketing. So I mentioned that goal very clearly in my first line, first paragraph, which is I would want to get into this industry because of my previous experiences or internships. In your second paragraph, you talk about what motivated you as a college student to consider finance, let's say, as a goal. Have you done a finance internship? Were you a part of the finance society? Have you done online courses on finance? What exactly motivated you to choose finance as a career option as of now? And in the third paragraph, you talk about how ISB can help you in achieving your goals. You talk about relevant subjects on finance, faculty, you talk about finance club, you talk about various beyond the classroom initiatives on finance, which is your goal. that ISB offers, and obviously the alumni base. So here also you don't have a lot of space for creativity or redundancy, right? So straight away get to the point, be authentic, and use non-jargonish language, right? Don't use fancy words for the sake of using them. That's not appreciated, right? And the last is LOR, which is a letter of recommendation, which is proof of your candidature by somebody who you have worked with. Typically, it's an internship mentor. For me, it was my internship mentor, or it can be a college faculty as well. Whoever has worked closely with you in a professional capacity and can vouch for your candidature. So, job titles don't matter. You having interned with a startup, but having never worked with the CEO, but taking your ISB LOR from the CEO is not right, right? Because the questions that these people are asked in the letter of recommendation can be: how was your experience while working with Sarthak? How was he as a subordinate? What constructive feedback did you give to him? So the person, whoever it is, who's answering the LOR, be it your faculty from college, or be it HOD, be it an internship mentor, they should have actually worked with you to answer the LOR questions authentically. That is there. And that is broadly about stage 2. Once you submit stage 2 application and your GMAT score by 31st August, after that you start getting invites for the interview, which is stage 3 in broadly September end. After September end, the school gives you 5 to 7 days to prepare for the interview, right? So let's say if I receive my invite today on 29th September, I'm saying this date because I actually received my ISB interview invite on 29th September 2017, and my interview date was 7th October, right? So I had broadly a week to prepare. So when it comes to ISB interviews, they typically are in person right now. For me also, it happened in person in the Hyderabad campus because it was a pre-COVID era. So they are in person. It's typically a 35-40 minutes long conversation, and the panelists are 2 to 3 alums of the school. And the conversation typically revolves around: why do you want to apply for ISB? Why do you want to do your MBA so early? Which is with only 20 months of work ex, when you know that people who you would be surrounded with would have 4, 5, 10 years of work ex. What are your goals, your internships, whatever you mentioned in your essays? Follow up questions on that, right? So that's how the conversation happens. The school is trying to gauge your rationale behind applying, and they are trying to cross question you on whatever you have mentioned in stage 1 and stage 2 till date, right? So after that, the decision comes on the portal and your email by 31st October historically. Last time it got a little late, but in our time and in the following batches, it was 31st October. So the first stage deadline is 26th March, which has one essay and awards, achievements, etc. The second stage deadline is 31st August, which has GMAT or GRE, one more essay and a letter of recommendation. The personal interviews happen in September, October, and the final admission date is around the end of October or November first week. So it's a good 6 months, 6, 7 months long process that it takes to complete the whole of ISB YLP journey. So that's what I wanted to discuss today. I hope this was helpful. And if you are an ISB aspirant, and if you're sitting in your college right now, definitely consider applying for YLP. It's a great program. It gives you a surety that you will be entering ISB with 20 months of work ex wherever it is after your undergrad. And it really helped me because, to be very honest with you guys, once you start working, it gets a little difficult to manage your time, prepare for GMAT in parallel, write your essays. So it's good that if you have time, that if you think, if you're ready, you should take out this time and apply for the YLP while sitting in college. You will thank me later. So that's there. And if you need any help with respect to essay writing for stage 1, stage 2, or personal interview preparation, mock interviews, or GMAT coaching now or later on, feel free to reach out to us through the website URL, which is mentioned in the comment. We have been mentoring ISB YLP aspirants since quite a while now, and we'll be happy to mentor you as well. But that's it for this video. All the best, and I'll be back soon with my next video, right? Thank you.